are you, babies? I got my baby boy and my baby girl, and I love them like nothing else in the world. And I got God on my side. Tell my oldest I love him till the day I die. I love your smile. I love your smile.
Whether you are listening or viewing from around the world, welcome to My Journey with Paula G, with your host, yours truly, Paula G, where we are juggling this journey called life while we're walking in the gifts and the talents that God has given us. If this is your first time on the journey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. If you are a continuing viewer or listener on the journey, you know how much I love y'all and appreciate y'all for continuing to tune in to each and every episode. Time is precious. I don't think that's ever going to change. It's precious and you can't give it back. And with all of the programming that you have the opportunity to view and listen to, for you to think it not robbery to tune in to us each and every week or each and every episode is truly, truly appreciated. So I appreciate each and every one of you from around the world. We keep that in mind when we're preparing these episodes because we want to make sure that the content, and we do our best to make sure that the content is relative to all of us, wherever you are around the world, because there's so many things that we have so much more in common than we think we do, whether we are on the African continent or the Asian continent or the North American continent. You know, the core of our goals and our values are to live a good life, to be able to provide for ourselves, our families, to work hard toward our goals and to fulfill our dreams. I think those are things that we desire across the board. So I thank all of you so much for tuning in. We also want to thank those who are continuing to embrace the journey through their underwriting support, and that would be our underwriters. Without our underwriters, we would not have the means to bring you this programming each and every episode. So we appreciate them very much. And if you are interested in gaining exposure for your business, product, or service, you can email Jerry Royce Live. That's JerryRoycelive at gmail.com, or Paula at paulagvoice.com. Put underwriting opportunities in the subject line, and we will be sure to have that dialogue with you as well. Also, please, 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 y'all know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, because that is how we increase our viewership, and that is how we are able to continue on this journey of sharing with each and every one of you. You know, I used to have a radio show. It was on the air for about 7 years. And I had a phrase on that show called Worldwide Conversations, because I learned from that particular radio show, I was able to interview people from around the world. And I learned on that show that, as I was saying at the top of this show, there's so many things that we have in common. We might be in different parts of the world, but there's so many things that we have in common. And one of the things that I feel that we have in common is our ability to, and our need to focus when we are seeking a goal or when we are seeking to fulfill a dream, whatever it is, the focus. And I know I've talked about this before, but I believe it bears repeating, because there's so many things in life that causes us to lose focus on our vision, to lose focus on our goal. We have this goal that we've set right here. This is our goal right here. And as we navigate this journey called life, there are all these obstacles that get in the way, that prevent us from continuing to see that goal, or prevent us from moving forward. And our task is not to allow that obstacle to stop us so we can't reach our goal, but our task is to figure out how are we going to get around that goal, how we're going to get over it, under it, through it, blow it up, whatever, to get rid of, so we can reach that goal. And wherever you are from around the world, wherever you're listening or viewing from, you can probably think right now of a goal that you had, a dream, a vision, something that you wanted to see come into fruition, to see manifest, and that has not happened for whatever reason, whatever that obstacle is that is in your way. And a lot of times, the obstacles that are in our way are things that we have absolutely no control over. We cannot prevent them from happening. Sometimes we don't even see them coming. And we get discouraged. We get so sidetracked. We get so consumed by whatever that obstacle is that we lose sight of that goal. But those of us who are believers, those of us who believe in God above, we know that our God is greater and bigger than any obstacle that we have, any problem that we have. So we have to focus. We have to focus on the goal. We have to focus on the goal and trust and believe and know that our God will help us navigate. Our God will help us get around that obstacle because he's greater and he's bigger than any obstacles that we have. But we've got to keep that in mind and focus and stay prayerful as we are continuing this journey. We're going to take a break. When we come back on the break, we're going to continue this conversation about staying focused on our goals. This is my journey. I'm with Paula G. I'm your host, Paula G. And stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.
Blessings. Blessings on blessings. Mommy love you, babies. I got my baby boy and my baby girl, and I love them like nothing else in the world. And I got God on my side. Tell my oldest I love him till the day I die.
I love your smile, I love your smile. You bring me joy when you're around. You will be great, I have no doubt. You are my blessing, blessing.
Rainy days and sunny days. Have fun, go outside and play. Hit the playground or the park. Or we could just kick back and do some more. You are my blessings, blessings. 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 I know you don't understand though. You never seen the struggle. How much moms had to hustle to give you what I could do. I'm far from perfect. Every one of you was worth it. You were my pride and joy before you touched Earth's surface. All your personalities different. Children are a blessing. If I don't agree with you, life teaches us lessons. We don't always make the right decisions. None of you were a mistake. Seeing your smile is God's mercy. Loving you is God's grace. I'm thankful for when I wait. My oldest, we don't talk every day. I think about you on a daily. I pray always that you safe. Some days are better than others. I'll always be your mother. I love you like no other. Sister and your brothers. If you're acting out, you get tough love. You know what it is. You know wrong from right. And mom taught you right as a kid. I love you no matter what. Through the downs and the ups. You could be anything you want to be. The power is in us. I got my baby boy and my baby girl, and I love them like nothing else in the world. And I got God on my side. Tell my oldest I love him till the day I die.
I love your smile, I love your smile. You bring me joy when you're around. You will be great, I have no doubt. You are my blessing, blessing.
Rainy days and sunny days. Have fun, go outside and play. Hit the playground or the park. Or we could just kick back and do some more. You are my blessings, blessings. You are my blessings, blessings. You are my blessings, blessings. You are my blessings, blessings on blessings. I love you, babies. God, watch over my children for me. Through the thick and the thin. All my family, everyone else's children. We gotta pray for our youth. I love you, baby.
Welcome back to My Journey with Paula G. I am your host, Paula G. And right here on the journey, we are juggling this journey called life while we're walking in the gifts and talents that God has given us. And that is indeed a journey. We all navigate this thing called life differently from wherever we are around the world based on our circumstances, our culture, our environment. We all have to navigate differently. There's no right or wrong way to navigate. It just is what it is based on the shoes that you're walking in. But also, in the process of walking that journey, we all have something inside of us that God has given us. He's given us all a gift. He's given us all a talent. And for some of us, we have not stirred up that gift. For some of us, we have not stirred up that talent. For some of us, we don't know what it is. And if you don't know what that gift is, if you don't know what that talent is, I encourage you to be prayerful and ask God to reveal to you what your gift is, what your talent is, and how you can use that gift, how you can use that talent to serve, because He's placed them inside of us for a reason. And many times, when a lot of people will discover their gift, they'll discover their talent, and they will find a way to make a living utilizing that gift and talent. Because originally, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not the best Bible scholar, but if we look back in the Word, God gave us those gifts and talents that we were to utilize to make a living. And some people have figured out how to do that. And I encourage you to do the same thing, by the way. But when we reach that point, when we reach the point where we have figured out how to use our gift, we have figured out how to use our talent, we need to take that gift, we need to take that talent, and we perhaps may find ways to make a living using the gift and talent, but also we want to utilize it to serve. So I'll use myself for example, and we're going to get back to the point about focus, but this just came to me, so I go with what I'm being led to share. When I started on this journey and I realized that I had a gift of voice, using my voice as a voiceover artist, lending my voice for different projects, I also recognized that I needed to find an opportunity to use my voice to serve. And that's where the reading service came in, the reading service for the blind and visually impaired that I read for each week. I do one episode of a particular magazine for that radio station for the blind and visually impaired. In previous years, and I've been working with them now, gosh, it might be close to 8 years maybe. But previously, I did live broadcasting where we would read the local newspaper on air, and also live programming, the radio shows that were on that particular network. We would interview men and women in the blind and visually impaired community, advocates that were working towards change and providing services and access for those who are blind and visually impaired. And I would interview those particular individuals, and I learned so much in that process. It's volunteer because I still do it. It's volunteer, but I think I'm blessed as those people are who hear my voice every week. Because for so many of them, this particular radio station is their only means of a resource for news or their entertainment. Because in addition to newspapers and news magazines, there are leisure magazines, there are leisure newspapers. So the newspapers that we might read, whether it's digital or the news that we listen to on television, sometimes this particular audience, especially the television, of course, the printed word, they don't have access to. So their means of getting information or entertainment is through the voice of those of us who serve and those of us who volunteer. And there's such a thing as descriptive text. And that is something that I have learned, and I need to kind of sharpen my skills in that a little bit. But it's where you're not only reading the text, but you're describing the attached photographs or sketches or drawings or whatever it is. So you give that blind and visually impaired audience member an idea in their head where they can use their imagination as to what may be occurring in that particular scene. So again, we're on this journey called life. We're juggling this journey and we're discovering what our gifts are. We're discovering what our talents are. And we're also seeking ways to serve and use those for the people of God. So I just want to share that because that is relevant to what I'm sharing with you about staying focused on what it is that you're doing, your goals and your dreams. And my journey to doing voiceover, my journey to auditioning for voiceover jobs and positions and obtaining clients and so forth. I've got to be focused. And at one point, I was letting all of these distractions, which weren't necessarily bad things happening, a lot. They weren't bad distractions. They were good things. They were other things that were serving other people or doing goodwill, if you will. But it was taking me off track of where it is that I was wanting to go and what it is that I was desiring to do. We can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. We've got to stay focused. We've got to stay focused. And before I came on to present this episode today, I was talking with one of my play niece. I call her my play niece. And for some cultures and some environments, we have these play nieces or play nephews or play brothers or play sisters or play mamas or play papas. And basically, what it means is that you have these persons in your life to where your relationship parallels that of a blood relationship. So I have a lot of play nieces and play nephews. Somewhere along the line, I became Auntie Paula. Somewhere along the line, they would just start calling me Auntie Paula. And, at those moments, I really felt touched and I really felt moved that they felt that type of relationship with me, even though we weren't blood. And I was just recently having a conversation with one of my play nieces. And we were talking about, I hadn't heard from her in a while, but we were talking about why I hadn't heard from her in a while and how all of these obstacles had gotten in the way of the goals that she had set for herself. She had set some lofty goals for herself, goals where people wouldn't have even imagined that she would reach that point because when she was younger, she was told what she couldn't do or what she couldn't be or what she wouldn't amount to. But praise be to the God on high that she didn't listen to those voices, and she had other voices, including mine, to encourage her and to tell her that yes, you can. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And if this is a vision that you have, if this is a dream that you have, you can achieve that dream and accomplish that dream. Block out those negative voices because a lot of times those negative voices are inflicting, it's called transference. I didn't amount to anything and I didn't accomplish my goals, and I see you on your journey accomplishing your goals, so I'm going to hate on you in a sense. I'm going to tell you, no, you're not going to amount to anything, you're not going to accomplish your goals. But you know who I'm speaking to? I'm speaking to myself, that person who hasn't accomplished their goals, that person who hasn't followed through. So sometimes that kind of oozes out. So when people tell you what you can't do, sometimes you have to take that with a grain of salt, because sometimes even though the words are coming out of their mouth, they're speaking to their own journey. I know that helps somebody right there. They're speaking to their own journey. So she had the wherewithal and the positive voices, to include mine, around her, telling her what she was capable of and what she could do. So it's been a minute since I had heard from her. And as she was sharing with me all of these obstacles, things that she didn't see coming, things that were not on her radar, things that she had absolutely no control over, that knocked her off the path, just knocked her back, knocked her off the path. And she was stunned for a minute. And I say minute using that kind of metaphorically because it was a while that took her completely off of the path and the journey that she was on. But did she give up? No, she didn't. Now, she got knocked off her path and she kind of had to sit wherever she was for a moment to deal with those circumstances that were around her. And I'm not labeling them, and I'm not labeling them for a reason, because I want this, not, it's not so much to her specific circumstance as it is to encourage you in whatever your circumstance is. You may be in a moment right now where, yeah, I had this goal and I had this dream of being, and you can fill in the blank, but here I sit because I got sidetracked because I had to do this, or I'm stuck because of that. And you're thinking, well, I'm never going to reach my goal. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But what it takes in that moment is saying to yourself, this is what it is for this particular season and time, and this is what I need to do. So the question is, I have this goal out here. How can I still reach that goal? Is it rewriting my plan? You know, the Bible says, write the vision, make it plain. Do I need to rewrite my plan? What are the steps that I now need to take? I need to navigate because I may have to coexist with this issue that's right in front of me. It's not going to go away. So I may have to coexist with this issue in front of me. How can I navigate this journey? How can I rewrite this plan? So I'm coexisting with this issue that I have, but I'm still moving forward to the manifestation of my journey. Or do I have to put a pin in it for a moment because this particular thing is preventing me? And be honest about that preventing. Is it preventing or is it procrastination? That's another episode. But do I have to sit in this thing for a moment to deal with this thing before I move forward? And if so, what is my plan once I begin to move forward? And at what point, I may have to sit in this for a minute, but at this point, I'm going to resume. You've got to set that goal. You've got to set that at this point, I'm going to resume so you can continue your journey. So, I encouraged her to reevaluate her goal. Her goal was still the same. Look at the steps it would take to get to that goal, and also the language that we use for ourselves. Well, I'm going to try to do this. Hopefully I can do that. I'm not sure about this. Listen to what we're saying to ourselves. So I'm not going to try to do this. I'm going to do this. What does it take to get to this goal? It's not, well, I have to try to do A, B, C, and D. It's, I must do A, B, C, and D. And this is how I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. We've got to be intentional with our language. Remove the try and the hope and the maybe. And this is my goal. A, B, and C needs to happen. Not, I'm going to try to make A, B, and C. Hopefully I can. And if I can, A, B, and C need to happen. And we need to be laser focused to make sure we can get those things done. And put your goals in small, achievable, what do I want to call segments, I guess, so that you feel like you've accomplished along the way so you can reach that goal. Laser focused, ladies and gentlemen, laser focused, being prayerful, asking God for guidance and direction, and helping you to navigate this journey called life while walking in the gifts and talents that He has given you so you can achieve those goals and those dreams. We've come to the end of our journey. I pray that helps somebody and bless somebody today. Be sure you stay engaged, like, share, subscribe. Check out my website, paulagvoice.com. Shouts out to our producer, Jerry Voice Live, Positive Power 21, the Weekend Channel.tv. Make sure you check it out. And as always, the greatest conversation you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears. What are you speaking to yourself? Is God a part of that conversation? And are you listening to His still small voice? Until next time, my brothers and sisters, laser focus, embrace the journey.
Father God, we exalt your name. God, we lift you high above all gods. We come to declare that, Lord, there is no king like you, no God like you. In the heavens or the earth, no one can compare to your power. You are the great I am, the big God, the reason, Lord. Hallelujah. Jesus, everlasting God, you rule in all the earth.
All powerful, almighty.
are the Lion of Judah, the great I am, the one who was and is to come. You are the mighty one in battle, man of war you are, oh Jesus. Big God you are, you reign in all the earth. Big God you are, oh Jesus, the great I am you are. You are. Lift up your voice and say, Jesus,